Okay, let's dive right into this explainer. It's funny. Have you ever noticed how some folks treat building a business website exactly like using a slow cooker? It's that classic set it and forget it mentality. You toss all the ingredients in, turn the dial, and just assume this perfect, ready to eat feast will be waiting for you whenever you get hungry. But, well, here is a wild reality check for you. According to cybersecurity experts, tens of thousands of websites are hacked every single day. And a massive chunk of those breaches, they happen simply because the owners thought their job was completely done the minute the site went live. So today we are unpacking a absolutely crucial concept for anyone running a business right now: why your website is a living, breathing digital asset that demands ongoing attention, not just a one-and-done project. It is honestly so tempting to build a gorgeous site, launch it to the world, and just cross it off your to-do list forever. But as we're about to see, that specific slow cooker mindset can literally cost you your business, your search rankings, and your hard-earned reputation. To really wrap our heads around how this happens, let's look at a story from our source material about a small business owner named Priya. So, about 2 years ago, Priya launched what she considered her absolute dream website. We're talking a seriously sleek design, gorgeous high-resolution images, highly engaging content that just perfectly nailed her brand's story, and flawless navigation. It did exactly what a great website is supposed to do, right? It captured her audience's attention and seamlessly converted them into paying customers. And for a solid year and a half, the results were incredible. Her business was absolutely booming. That website was her ultimate pride and joy. It acted like this tireless 24/7 salesperson, generating organic leads and standing as the perfect pristine digital storefront for literally anyone who looked her up online. She honestly felt like she had the whole digital world figured out. But then, things started to slowly, kind of painfully, unravel. Fast forward to a totally normal Tuesday. A loyal, longtime customer calls in, but they aren't calling to place a new order. Actually, they're calling to complain that the website simply isn't loading. Then, another user complains about hitting these weird 404 error pages when they try to click on product links. And soon after that, a potential new client reaches out just to mention that the site looks kind of outdated and isn't even formatting correctly on their brand new smartphone. Priya was stunned. I mean, she had invested thousands of dollars and countless hours just 2 years prior. How in the world did a perfect website suddenly morph into a magnet for complaints? Well, what she didn't realize at the time is that the internet is not some static museum where you can just hang a painting and it stays perfect forever. It is a constantly shifting, rapidly evolving ecosystem. Web browsers update, search engine algorithms shift, and server software advances. And if your site doesn't evolve right alongside that ecosystem, well, it breaks. Which brings us to Section 1, the set and forget trap. So what exactly went wrong for Priya? The big takeaway here is that her once perfect digital storefront fell into a very dangerous yet incredibly common trap. And honestly, the answer to her sudden influx of complaints wasn't just bad luck. Think of your website exactly like a brand new high-end sports car. We all instinctively know that a car needs regular servicing, right? You absolutely need oil changes, tire rotations, and fluid top-offs just to keep it running smoothly down the highway. You would never ever drive a complex machine for 2 years straight without even popping the hood once. The friction of the road wears down the tires, and the heat degrades the oil. Well, the logic for your website is exactly the same. The digital friction of browser updates, new device screen sizes, and evolving security threats constantly wears down your site's infrastructure. Websites require consistent, proactive care to stay functional, secure, and actually relevant to your users. When you ignore the engine of your digital presence, the whole thing starts grinding to a halt. And that leads us right into Section 2, the risks of neglect. Let's peek under the hood and see what happens when we look at the specific dangers that just pile up over 2 years of ignoring website maintenance. Basically, what goes wrong when you leave a digital asset completely untouched? You get a very real, very dangerous snowball effect. First up on the list, security vulnerabilities. What does that actually mean for you? Well, hackers use these automated bots that just constantly crawl the internet, specifically sniffing around for older, unpatched versions of website plugins or outdated core software. When developers find a security flaw, they release an update to patch it. If you don't install that update, you are leaving a known backdoor wide open. It's literally the digital equivalent of broadcasting to the whole neighborhood that your front door is unlocked. Second is poor user experience. Why do links suddenly break? Because external sites move, or your site's code might just not play nicely with the newest version of Google Chrome anymore. These broken links, the agonizingly slow load times, the clunky mobile designs, they severely frustrate your users, driving them away before they even read a single word of your pitch. And third, missed opportunities. While your digital engine is stalling out on the side of the road, the rest of the web is speeding right past you. And this brings us to a rather painful reality about today's consumers. Competitors with fresher content and better performance are out there attracting the exact clients that you are losing. Think about the journey of a frustrated user for a second. When they visit your site and it takes 10 seconds to load, or the text is all jumbled up on their phone, they don't just close the tab and say, oh well, guess I won't buy that today. No way. They immediately hit the back button and click on the very next search result, which almost always belongs to your competitor. This does two devastating things at the exact same time. First, you lose a sale right then and there. Second, that behavior signals to search engines like Google that your site wasn't helpful. So your search rankings drop, while concurrently boosting your competitors' rankings because the user actually stayed on their fast, well-maintained site. You're quite literally funding your competitors' growth through your own neglect. Ouch, right? All right, so how do we fix this? Section 3. Anatomy of a rescue plan. Fortunately, Priya didn't just throw in the towel and accept defeat. Realizing the massive negative impact this neglect was having on her bottom line, she reached out to a professional to turn things around. Let's walk through the specific pillars of her structured rescue strategy, because it brilliantly connects technical actions directly to real-world business impacts. First off, they implemented regular updates. This instantly sealed up those security backdoors by keeping the underlying platform, the third-party plugins, and all security patches totally current. Next up, performance monitoring. This ensures optimal speed and maximum uptime so her site is instantly ready the second a visitor arrives. Then came a really crucial step, a content refresh. This involves consistently adding new blogs and updating outdated information. Why is this so vital? Because search engines absolutely love fresh content. When you update regularly, you send this powerful signal to Google's web crawlers that your business is alive, active, and relevant, which pushes you way higher up in the search results. Finally, analytics reports were set up to provide deep insights into visitor behavior, completely replacing blind guesswork with smart, data-driven improvements. And the outcome of this strategy? It was entirely transformative. By implementing this comprehensive, proactive rescue plan, Priya's digital storefront was completely revitalized. The website successfully returned to being the business's strongest, most reliable ally. Just imagine the emotional relief of a business owner who suddenly goes from fielding angry tech support calls all day to effortlessly attracting and retaining customers once again. She knew her digital storefront was finally safe, secure, and working relentlessly for her, day and night, just exactly like it did the day she first launched it. Which brings us to our final takeaway, Section 4. Your business deserves care. Now, let's pivot from Priya's story over to you and your business, because at the end of the day, your business deserves the exact same level of dedicated digital care. When you commit to regular maintenance, you aren't just avoiding a tech disaster, you're actually securing an incredible return on investment through 3 massive long-term benefits to your bottom line. First, better security. This is completely non-negotiable. Proactively protecting sensitive customer data builds immense trust in your brand. Second, enhanced user experience. A smooth, lightning-fast site keeps visitors engaged, which significantly increases the chances they convert from casual browsers into loyal buyers. And third, long-term savings. Let's think about the financial reality here for a second. Paying a small, predictable monthly maintenance fee to keep your site updated is a tiny fraction of the cost of hiring an emergency developer at premium hourly rates to recover a hacked, blacklisted, or completely broken website. Proactive care is always, always cheaper than reactive panic. A well-maintained website isn't just a digital placeholder on the internet, it is the single most public reflection of your brand's reliability. There's this really powerful quote from our source material over at DigitalZ Pro Media that perfectly captures why this is so critical. Take a second to really let this sink in. In today's digital world, staying updated is not just an option, it's a necessity. That word, necessity, hit the nail on the head. Consumer expectations today are absolutely sky high. If a potential customer lands on your site and the formatting is broken or it takes way too long to load, they don't just think, oh, they have a bad website. They often assume your actual physical business might be struggling, or worse, that you've shut down completely. You simply cannot compete if your primary digital asset is degrading while your competitors are meticulously optimizing theirs. So I want to leave you with this final, critical question to ask yourself right now. When was the absolute last time your website had a proper checkup? Don't wait until your digital engine completely seizes up to finally check the oil, right? Don't wait for your customers to start complaining exactly like Priya's did. Evaluate the health of your digital storefront today, because in the modern marketplace, every single second of lag or every broken link isn't just a harmless error code, it is a customer walking right out of your digital front door. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer, and I highly encourage you to go give your website the consistent, professional attention it truly deserves. Catch you next time.